12 months. And also, because we know all of you love that, to give a sneak peek into what's to come in 2022. So our product and development teams have been working overtime to continue to grow our already excellent product line and to enhance all of our users' overall experience. So first, I do want to get out a few housekeeping notes. If you're attending the webinar live, you'll notice there's a spot for Q&A. So feel free to jot down a question in there at any time during the webinar, and we'll hold a Q&A session with Charles and Jono at the end. And we will try our hardest to answer every question that comes in live. But if we have some left over, we do have April from our product team waiting in the background to answer any of those questions right through that Q&A feature there. So we are recording this and we'll post it to our social media pages and our blog. So you can send the recording to other users at your venue who couldn't catch it live. Or if you'd like to rewatch it yourself because you didn't get enough of us the first time around, you can do that as well. So let's jump right into it. Jono, can you tell us about a new product that we released in 2021?
Yes, but before we begin, that's a fake background behind Charles. That is not our headquarters.
Nor my house.
I want to be clear that we're not on the top floor of some building. I'm actually in the office. As you can see, it's not nearly as glamorous, nor is the view as nice. So what I wanted to go over today is, like Kennedy said, is the products that we've released and also upcoming products. And I wanted to start with TripleseatDirect. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about this or seen it, or from the emails that we're sending to you. But I want to give a little bit more detail into what it is, why we did it, and how it can help your business. So TripleseatDirect had many forms, and it was initially designed to help restaurants have their customers book directly with them without having to get a return phone call or a return email. You could open up your event space on shoulder dates like Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays, where people can directly book that space. And we came up with that idea and that theory, if you will, in early 2020. Well, we all know what happened in 2020. So we pivoted the idea to allow restaurants or any venues for that matter to include to-go and delivery catering, where a lot of the to-go and delivery, as you already know, are for single items, like if you want to order a pizza or a sandwich or whatever the case may be. But what could restaurants do to allow their customers to order bulk items? So if you wanted to do something like a Thanksgiving dinner for 20 at your house, or you wanted to host a Super Bowl for 20 people at your home, or whatever the case may be, how can we make something that restaurants could use to allow them to take direct orders for catering, in addition to also being restaurants having the ability to book in-house events without having to go through all the back and forth with the restaurant. So what that evolved into is TripleseatDirect. So TripleseatDirect is really kind of 3 or 4 components, and that's what we built. So I want to kind of walk you through what it looks like and how it behaves, and what you can use today. So what we're looking at here on my screen is our fake restaurant website called Blue Water. And then everybody's familiar with the private dining lead page. But what we included with TripleseatDirect is this page right here, which is the TripleseatDirect page, which allows you to accept on-premise direct booking, full-service catering, pickup catering, and drop-off catering. Now, you, with the restaurants, can choose to have all four, or they can choose to have one, or they can choose to have two or three. You don't have to have all four. TripleseatDirect comes with all four, but it's up to you which one you want to use. So let's, for the sake of argument, choose. We were talking about pickup and catering and drop off and catering. Let's do pickup catering. If I hit the next button, the person can then choose where they want to do this. Now, if it's just your location, it would just show your location. And then they can put in the kind of notes that they want to put in, whatever the case, but the number of guests that they want to have. So I'll put in, 20 guests, when they want to pick it up, the time they want to pick it up. And then it goes into your packages or your items. So here I'll choose the whole brisket. And then I can choose what kind of size I want with it. And then I just simply hit save. And it tells me right here that I ordered a whole brisket for $185, no charge for the sides. And then it also includes a minimum, meaning the restaurant controls the minimum of how much people can spend. So they don't go out there and say, hey, listen, I want a loaf of bread for $1, and I want you to deliver it to me, or I'm just going to pick it up. You control what they can, what the minimum spend is. So because I didn't make the minimum spend, I'm going to go in there and choose the Texas Feast. Again, I can choose what I want on that Texas Feast. I can choose what's there. So here I made the minimum. I hit next, and I put in all of my information, and then I hit add payment, and now I can include my payment, and I hit submit. So that's how it works if I was going to do pickup catering, and it works in a very similar fashion if I was going to do drop-off catering. And what's nice with drop-off catering or delivery catering is that we've entered into a partnership with Grubhub. You don't have to be a subscriber to Grubhub. You can send your catering order directly to Grubhub. They'll deliver it for you for a fee. There's not a commission. It's just a flat fee. And again, you don't have to be a customer of Grubhub's, but we do have an integration with them where you can send the order to them. They'll pick it up, they'll deliver it, and they're going to charge you a flat fee. Now, if you wanted to do on-premise, it works in a very similar fashion. Again, you want to choose where you want to do it. You hit the next. And here is where it's different. Now you can choose your room. So I want to do it at the Tuscany room. I want to do it for 40 people. I want to do it on the 28th. Now, only dates that are available for that particular room will show. So if there's something already happening in that room, the date won't show, the room won't show. So you can't have a customer accidentally double book themselves. So I want to do it at 1:30, at 4. It's going to end at 4. And again, you have control over all how the length is and the time is of the event. I hit next. And again, now I can go into these different packages and choose what I want. So the customer is doing all this. So I want the tavern burger. I want a medium rare. I want a garden salad. I want all the burgers to have bacon. And I can.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can you make your screen a little larger? A few people have asked if you could expand it.
It's as big as it gets.
All right.
Let me see. Does that help? Maybe that helps.
Yeah, that will help.
Okay.
Thank
you. And so forth and so on. And again, you can choose. You can put in whatever menu you want. Your premium dinner, whatever the case may be, whatever packages you want. Again, you can put all these different choices that the customer can make. So they're basically planning their own event right from your website. And the process works exactly the same, where you can put in a minimum If they don't meet the minimum, they can't go forward. And then they can put in a payment or a deposit, and that's how it works for on-premise. So the cases for this, in my mind, where again shoulder dates, where like obviously you want to get the maximum dollars for your maximum time. So that's like maybe that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but on Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays, you want to open that space up and have people just be able to book themselves straight away. So the next question that, well, before I go there, this is all controlled through a web link. So you can include that web link anywhere you want. You can put it on your emails. You can put it on your web page, which is where we started from. You can also put it on your Event Up page. So if I go to my Event Up page here, and where it says Book Now, I click on the Book Now, and there it is. And here, this particular restaurant only chose 3 of the options, which is on-premise, pick up, and drop off. So maybe they don't do full service catering. So goes right there, and the same process works. So again, you can have it on your Event Up listing. You can have it on your own website. You can have it on your social media, so forth and so on. And what it looks like, what I'm talking about, is that when you go into Tripleseat, it's right here. This is the link I'm talking about. Hopefully you can all see that. It's just a simple link. It's a web link, which you can include anywhere. If you wanted to, make a full-on page from it. Let's see here. If you want to make a full-on page from it, let's go back to the beginning, like we did here. You can go to your web guy and say, hey, listen, can you include a tab and have this tab here or there? It's super easy for them to do. It'll take them like all of 10 minutes. You can also include it side by side with your embedded link, or these are just different examples. But again, it's just a simple link right here. That's all it takes to have TripleseatDirect work. The other side of this is about control. So let me get to where I want to be. Sorry about the clicking. So when somebody puts in an event directly to you, it's not automatically accepted. So what it'll do, it'll show up here under new TripleseatDirect events, where you have access to it, and then you can decide if you want to accept it or reject it. So maybe somebody put an order in and you're like, you can't do it, or you don't want to do it. You can simply reject it. And by rejecting it, it would automatically send out an email, which you control, that says, hey, listen, we can't do this event, so forth and so on. We won't actually charge their credit card until you accept it. So you're not going to have to give any kind of refunds or anything like that. So all we do is hold the information until you accept it. Once you accept it, then we'll charge the card. But if you reject it, there's no harm to foul. The card's not going to get charged. So once you accept it, look at that. Once you accept it, it automatically turns into a booking, and it works like Tripleseat always works. And you can go in there and edit it, change it, if they call you up and say, hey, listen, I want to change it from carrots to peas, you can change all of that. And then my last thing with TripleseatDirect is you can configure it 6 ways to Sunday. So you have complete control over when you offer it, how you offer it, what your delivery range is. So it's all done here under settings. So like event duration limits, you can limit the events to 2 hours, 1 hour, 3 hours, whatever you want. How much lead time you need, and by style, maybe you need 8 hours, maybe you need 8 days. How your billing details are going to work, like admin fee, gratuity, sales tax, all that. What kind of percentage you want to take on your deposit. Maybe you want to take 100%, so it's not a deposit. You want to take full payment. Or maybe you want to take 25% as a deposit. What your blackout dates is. It also looks at your calendar and understands that if you have an event or don't have an event, if the room can show or not show, what hours you want to do it. This is where you put in your items, like your food items and your beverage items. This is also where you can include packages if you want to do like the Texas barbecue package, your menus, and then finally your forms and what the form looks like, so forth and so on. So again, you have complete control off of everything that you want to offer to your prospective customer when they come to this Tripleseat Direct page. So this, I'll wrap this up by saying this is another revenue source. And this is now how your customers, your guests, because of COVID, want to book business. You know, they've got accustomed to takeout and delivery from your website, being able to go in there and just order stuff. Similar to like how they got accustomed to taking reservations, just going to a reservation site, making reservations. So now customers are expecting the convenience, if you will, of either booking in-house events directly with you, or booking bulk items for pickup and delivery, or full-on catering, meaning deliveries of chairs and tables and staff, directly online. Now, is the ability to have the communication back and forth with a customer going away? No, that'll always be there and it'll continue to be there. This is just another revenue source and booking convenience for you, the restaurant, to give to your guests when they come to your website. And that was the thinking all along behind it. And now it's out and it's live. We are seeing the restaurants that are using it right now, we're seeing them get a ton of business from this. And it's really because there's such a shortage of staff with event people or event managers. This is just a huge time saver for you. And it eliminates all the friction of booking an event, right? It's just like, you know, the back and forth, the proposals, everything back and forth. If this person wants to book an event, let them book an event. And it just saves you a ton of time. Actually, all the work is actually put on the guests with planning their menus and what the case may be. So Tripleseat Direct is out. It's live. It's working. We've added a ton of updates, which Charles is going to go through to it after we release this in early 21. And we've added a ton of features to it. And we're going to continue to add features to it. But I wanted to take this time to kind of show you what Tripleseat Direct is and how it can really benefit your business today and going forward. So with that, I'm going to turn this over back to Kennedy, and we'll go from there.
Thanks, Jono. Yeah, and if you out there are interested and you're not currently using Tripleseat Direct, but you're interested in starting to use it, you can reach out to our support team or your account manager, and they can help you get set up. Also, if you are using it and you have questions on it, same support team, same account managers, reach out. We have tons of resources and content on how to best utilize this new product. So definitely reach out and find out. We have information on the blog, all that great stuff. So moving forward, now that we talked about the amazing product that we rolled out in 2021, that was definitely due to a lot of customer feedback and, you know, changing ways in the hospitality industry because of the pandemic. We now going to move it over to Charles so he can talk about some of the features that we rolled out in 2021, thanks to customer feedback as well.
So sorry to interrupt. I had to do it. It won't be a meeting with me unless I interrupt somebody. You could also go to, I'm sharing my screen.
Sorry, Jono, I know. I forgot this part.
You could also go to Marketplace, which is on the side here, inside. And in Marketplace, you could hit Tripleseat Direct, hit Learn More, and purchase it yourself. You could also sign up for credit cards in the Marketplace. You could sign up for TARP, which is our advanced reporting, and you could sign up for ad placement on our EventUp platform. So you can do it all yourself, straight from your Tripleseat. Just when you sign up for something, it's going to ask for your name, your credit card. You just hit submit. Boom, you have access. You don't even have to talk to your account manager or your support person or your
even though
sales
they love to talk to you.
Go right to the marketplace.
And I think it's important to mention too that not like different from other companies that offer something like this. This is a subscription fee. It's not, there's no fees on top of this for the orders that you take in. There's no commissions. We don't take any of those charges. So it's easy to sign up. And yes, I should have mentioned the add-on section, the marketplace, which is a new feature.
Yeah. Breaking my heart.
That.
You guys stole my thunder on that one. Anyway, thanks for the segue. I mean, I think let's talk about TripleseatDirect first. So, as John mentioned, it came out earlier this year, and we've been able to listen to all of you guys out there and take your feedback and really expand upon the product with some great features that'll make your life easier, really add to that configurability, and just make it work the way that you need it to work for your business. So. Things like that Gratuity Selector, it can be enabled per form. You can set the selectable percentage that the guest can choose, or have them enter a custom amount. A per person menu item. So if your setup is such that you're charging per person, everything will auto calculate based on how many guests will be attending. We recently came out with a specialty availability form. So if you have different menus, different packages, different requirements for, say, a holiday or a specific event that would be different from your quote unquote standard events. You're able to configure those now. The Google Map integration that we added for delivery radiuses, that was also a customer request. John touched on the venues and event up linkage. So people wanted that, and so we made that happen for you. And then a couple of other smaller enhancements. So removing the end time field from the form for drop off and pickup, the ability to order menus the way that you want them laid out, and then the ability to set your start time frequency. So whether it's an hour, have things start in a half hour, 15 minutes, whatever it needs to be. Just more ways for you to use this great new product. Over onto our main restaurant product, we added the ability to auto save signed PDFs. So when a document's signed, it automatically gets saved as a PDF for you, so you don't have to go hunt for that thing. As you just saw, the marketplace was self-service for all the add-on products. That was new this year. We also created inclusive billing details, so you can have the billing details inclusive of the item's price. So once it's set that way, it'll be backed out of the menu price, leaving the balance as the total. Very recently, we came out with the ability to copy pick lists, so I'm sure that will be useful for quite a few folks out there. We heard about this one a lot this year, so we're really excited to get that one out. And then a few other enhancements, things like reassigning tasks for deleted users, deleting tasks, and a merge field for a secondary contact if you've got more than one main person that you're dealing with on your customer side. So, just more things to make our core product more valuable to you. And then for our hotel folks, we enhanced our documents to add pickup numbers to the guest room block, and then also the ability to show a primary event on multiple events tables. Then doc links added to the events tab within the bookings, just to make it easier to find. And then last but not least, the ability to set a food and beverage minimum at the booking level, not just each event. So you can apply that across the board. So as you can see, busy year for us over here. And back to you, Kate.
Very busy year. Okay, so we just went through a lot of new features. We went through new products. And maybe can we talk a little bit about some of the new partner integrations that came up in 2021? I think, Jono, this is you.
This is me? Yeah, sure. we rehearse this. We promise. So we've been super busy with working with other vendors, software vendors for restaurants and hotels, in terms of integrations and partnerships. So one of our biggest integrations request was for property management systems for hotels. And we've completed Infor, Oracle, WebRes Pro, Stay in Touch, are all live and working for the hotel product on the PMS side. I think I hit them all. And on the venue side, on the restaurant side, we've also been working with a lot of partners. And one of the main ones that we've integrated to is Merri, MERRI, which is a floor plan, kind of like a floor plan meets Pinterest mushed together, where your customers can not only see the floor plans, they can see the floor plans in 3D, but they can also dress the table up, if you will, where they can choose linens and see what that looks like. They can choose centerpieces and see what that looks like, chairs and see what that looks like. They can choose forks, knives, spoons, and all have a visual image of what that looks like on the table. They can do it for the walls too, if you're doing bunting or whatever the case may be, with using Merri. So we integrated to them those floor plans, then go on to the banquet event order, or onto the contract or whatever, or proposal that you can share with your customers. You can also give access to the floor plans to your customer, so they can mess around. And so that's an exciting integration. We've also done some minor integrations with Open Table, where the leads come in, but we're working with them. I'm kind of talking about the future now. Working with them to have more data go back and forth between the two systems. Same with 7 Rooms. They're also working with them. We have an integration now, but we're working with a deeper integration where more data is going to flow back and forth. So you don't have to do a lot of double entry, and you have the complete, if you will, image of the customer between the two systems. Same with, and that's going to work similar to what Open Table is going to be doing also. What else did I miss, Kate? Because I don't.
You didn't miss anything.
That
was everything. You got it all. All right, well, then let's move on from integrations. Now let's talk about, we can't forget about our Event Up product, obviously. It's very important. So Charles, were there any updates made this year to Event Up?
Yeah, so the first one that comes to mind is we've updated the sync between Event Up and Tripleseat venues. So this allows you to manage everything at once and not have to re-enter things twice. So when you update things within Tripleseat settings, it'll carry over to Event Up. It's all in real time, so there's no double entry, none of that, because who wants to do that? And then the ability to preview your Event Up listing within Tripleseat settings, just so you can see what you're doing before you actually press the go button. Just makes it just that much more easier to use.
Yeah, those were great. And also adding the, like Jono showed earlier, with TripleseatDirect and the Book Now button and Event Up was definitely a big win for our customers as well. All right, so let's talk now about what's to come in 2022, because I know that our customers love sneak peeks. We all do. And I also know that there's some really big things coming down the pipeline. So Jono, why don't you start us off with a new product release that we touched on? I think we touched on this briefly in 2020, the year in review 2020, and it was TARP, the TARP upgrades.
All right, great. Thanks for queuing me in, because I didn't know where you were going. Sure. So TARP stands for Tripleseat Advanced Reporting. And not to get too much in the weeds about TARP, it runs on a database, and the database we were currently using had its limitations. So what we decided to do is start all over, and we found a new database software that we can build reports on top of, and it's much more flexible for you and for us in regards to how it delivers information. So one exciting thing about TARP is the ability to add dashboards of graphical information onto your homepage on Tripleseat. And not only can you add it to your homepage, right now you have 3 and they're pretty static. It's the same 3. But now you can add whatever you want. And then you can also move them around. So you can stack them, put them side by side. So that's really cool, where you can kind of customize your homepage and you can put what's important to you right on your homepage. The other thing about this new product is that it has some artificial intelligence built into it. One of the biggest challenges that I see, especially for me, is that you're presented information in a graphical form, but you have to kind of interpret it or read it. You have to kind of understand what it's showing you, and you have to kind of understand, like, what is it trying to tell me? Like, what information should I get out of this? With this new platform, it has the artificial intelligence where, let's say, for an example, you say, show me all my sales for the last 6 months. And it might be, a bar graph that goes up and down, up and down, up and down. What it will say to you is it'll say, well, in May, May is lower because of X, Y, and Z, right? It will look into the data and explain to you why certain things are the way they are without you having to interpret it. So this artificial intelligence will look at all these type of reports and then kind of explain back to the reader what this graph is really saying. So sales is just an example, but it can do, this artificial intelligence can do all sorts of things. So we're in the short strokes of completing that. We had to map all the data and create all the reports. It's going to have the same reports that it has currently with TARP, but we're also going to add more sales reports where you can put in sales goals and sales forecast, and you can do these sales goals by food, beverage, if you're a hotel, guest rooms, and you can kind of dice the data 6 ways to Sunday, and present that information in graphical format, pie charts, line charts, graphs, whatever the case may be, bars, and then put that onto your homepage, or use it as an aside on the TARP page. And we're just right now just putting the finishing touches on it. It's looking pretty spectacular, to be honest with you. And it's going to really help you understand the data that you're collecting, and help you forecast your business going forward, and help your business understand, as far as sales are concerned, like who your best salesperson is, like what salesperson is, needs some help, what territories are really where the business is coming from, by accounts, by area, all sorts of good stuff that Tripleseat collects currently with the data. This is just going to help you pull it out and understand it.
And you can also sign up for TARP on our marketplace, correct?
You can sign up for TARP on our marketplace. Yes. And then when we switch the TARP that's on our marketplace now to the new TARP that's coming out, there's no additional fee. It'll just be a switchover.
Cool. All right. That's great. And then how about, Jono, I think that you also wanted to touch on upcoming stuff for hotels.
Yeah.
As well. All right.
So as you all know, we have multiple products. So we have Tripleseat, that's for restaurants and unique venues and what have you. We have TripleseatDirect, which is, an add-on, which I just showed you, but that also is a separate product for restaurants and hotels and unique venues. And then we have EventUp, which is our venue listing page, which does fantastic, by the way. Our conversion rates from lookers to bookers is off the chain. And so that's a separate product. And then finally, we have Tripleseat that is for hotels, but for hotels specifically. And what makes Tripleseat for hotels for hotels, it has a sleeping room software component to it where you can manage your sleeping rooms. So typically that's called, that component that controls the sleeping room is called a GRC, or guest room control. So we've done a bunch of work. We're about to release a complete refresh of how the GRC works within the booking. So you can put in sleeping rooms much easier, faster. It's clear. You can see sleeping room rates. We have integrations to Profit Sword, which is kind of in Ideas, which is hotel software that kind of determines banquet room space and value and sleeping room rates. And you're going to be able to put that information in much faster. As any hotel person will tell you, if you got a room block of 100 for 3 nights and they want 33 kings and 20 double doubles and 1 suite, it can get a little cumbersome putting all that guest room information in. We made it much faster. The other item that's coming out is the ability to add multiple events over multiple days much faster. Where, like for instance, you have 10 breakouts for 5 days. That's 50 events over the course of 5 days, and they might all start at 9 a.m. and they might all want a continental breakfast. So that's 50 continental breakfasts over 5 days, and they all start at 9 a.m. And by the way, that'd be a great booking if you can get it. But if they come back to you and say, hey, listen, I don't want it to start it at 9, I wanted to start it at 9:30, you don't have to go into it 50 times to change it to 9:30. You just change it once to 9:30, and it will change all the events underneath that booking or to whatever you assign to 9:30. And it will do the same for food, beverage, AV, whatever the case may be. Where if you say, I want a continental breakfast, but I also want a continental breakfast with yogurt, and I want it for all 50, you don't have to go in there 50 times and add yogurt. You just add yogurt once, and it'll put it to all 50 of those events. So that's coming out hopefully by the end of Q1, early Q2, where you're going to have the ability to edit, change bulk items, bulk events with 1 or 2 clicks.
Great, big time saver for our hotel customers, for sure. Huge. All right. Well, okay. So we went over our upcoming TARP. That's the upgrades to TARP. I shouldn't say upgrades because it's already great. New features to TARP. Hotels, obviously, we just went over that. And now, Charles, do you want to give us a little sneak peek into what's coming for TripleSeatDirect in restaurants?
Absolutely. So for TripleSeatDirect, we're continuing on that path that we started this year, which was making it more usable for you guys, more configurability. We'll also be adding a terms agreement component. So it's really a timestamp so that when something was agreed to. And then things like the ability to preview menus, apply meal periods to specific menus. So things may cut off or switch over based on whatever you've designated. Adding setup and teardown times, and then more around minimums for catering, kind of what Donna alluded to earlier. So really just continuing to flesh out and add things to that product. And a lot of it's based on your feedback, so we certainly appreciate it. On the restaurant product side, we're looking at adding a menu selection via the guest portal. So very similar to what you see in TripleSeatDirect, we'll be bringing that over to the core product.
So let me, again, it can't be a meeting without me interrupting you. So let's a little bit more detail on that. So what we're thinking for the guest portal is that it's business as usual, but you might, what we're thinking is that if you want, again, it's about control and you can have it or not have it. Allowing your customer to make changes to their BEO from the guest portal. So instead of them having to call you or email you and say, hey, I want carrots instead of peas, they can just go in and make it carrots. you would have the ability to accept or deny their changes, but they would make the changes on their own via the guest board.
Yep. Then we're looking at adding more triggers to automatic tasks, so around event types and event styles. Also the ability to copy over user roles. So I think that'll be really helpful for those of you who are deep into that world. Also updating the event sales goals and how those look and feel. As John mentioned, we're doing that on the hotel side. So we're also looking at how do we keep that experience kind of aligned across all of our products. The customizable dashboard that he mentioned earlier on, building that out, and then also making some enhancements to how discussions are handled within Tripleseat. So better searchability, threading, filtering, all those kinds of things that we're all used to in email clients. It's not going to be an email client, but it'll be more like one.
It'll behave more like one, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, our number one thing is threading discussions in a much cleaner way. And also what happens when somebody breaks the chain, and how we can bring that chain back. So we're looking at all of that and trying to figure out how that could work. I hear you. I've been hearing about breaking the chain for years. It's a huge technology. It sounds simple enough, but man, oh man, it's a lot of technology behind it. So we're definitely investigating how we can recover the chain once it's broken.
Mm-hmm. I remember that question when I worked support,
oh yeah,
6 years ago. It's been a long time coming. So that's exciting for sure. And then if I'm not mistaken, Charles, we also have a few new exciting partner integrations coming down in 2022 as well.
Yep, that is correct. So John talked about the first one that I'll get to, which is the Doordash drive integration. So that's going to be really great for our TripleseatDirect customers, adding to their delivery options. We're currently doing an integration with Square, so you'll have more credit card payment options. 7 rooms, which John talked about, adding to that. And I apologize for my dog in the background here. Wouldn't be a fireside chat without
how could your dog be in the background, Charles? You're in this gorgeous conference room.
Yeah, we do have office dogs. More PMS integrations. We're always looking to add more there. We're doing an integration with an SMS service, so you'll be able to communicate with leads from your website via text. Also, eventually be able to use texting just like you would discussions within Tripleseat. So more ways to reach people. And then the last one I'll talk about is Nowsta, which is a staffing and scheduling service. So more ways to schedule folks around your events and just make that easier to deal with. So a lot going on for 2022.
Yes, and that's Q1, right? Yeah, right. So we definitely have a lot on the docket that we are scoping out, working on, or currently working on. That's just going to make Tripleseat even better for you in regards to generating new business, streamlining the planning process, communicating with the customer. That's the whole thinking around everything that we do, is that how can whatever we add make your job easier and faster and more profitable. And everything that Charles just listed and I just spoke about checks those boxes.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a lot to digest. So we have a few questions that have been, April was answering a lot of questions as they came in. So thank you, April, for doing that. Nathan had a question about texting. And I feel like, Jono, are you answering that one?
Nathan asked, I'm confused. Is it now possible to book overnight stays online in Tripleseat? I think I want to answer the question as asked. Is it now possible to book overnight stays online? You can't book sleeping rooms online via Tripleseat, but with the whole hotel product, you can book sleeping rooms, like group sleeping rooms, via the GRC, but there's no way a customer can go in and book a sleeping room. It has to be done through the sales department for that sleeping room.
Yeah. So if you're a hotel customer,
if you're a hotel
if
customer,
your sales team uses Tripleseat, like event managers use it to book events, they can add the rooms
sleeping
to
room.
your Tripleseat platform.
Right.
Yeah, rooms. Okay, so there was a couple that came in about texting. The first from Nathan, the second from Andy. I don't know if you guys can see those. They're
Yep.
they're kind of, yeah.
Similar. So what we're expecting right now is the ability to communicate with leads that come in. That's going to happen in Q1. The discussions aspect we're still looking into because that'll be part of that broader rollout of updates to discussions. So I don't have a timeline on that just yet. And then tighter integration with Google reviews. No, we haven't specifically looked into that, but I'll make a note to do a little homework on it. It's good feedback.
Great. And then Michelle asked if there is a client feedback form.
So we partnered with Bambera Loop. That's an integration. So they can use that partner. They can use, a third party, if you will. But we do integrate with Bambera Loop, which is on our website marketplace, not inside of Tripleseat's product site.
Which is soon to be called Partners and Integrations, not Marketplace on the website.
Correct.
Just to confuse everybody a little bit more.
Yeah.
All right, great. I think that's all of the questions that we got. I don't see anyone else typing either. So, all right. Oh, wait, got one more. I talked too fast. From Kristen. So she's saying currently TS reports on grand total revenue, not net revenue. Is there consideration for that to change or customization?
Right. I understand the question. There's math there. With TARP, there will be the ability further down the line to customize the reports that TARP produces. And when I say customize, I mean you customize. And that customization can include math. So that the grand versus net, I mean, you want to subtract out whatever you want to subtract out, whatever you consider net, like gratuity, admin, tax. You'll have the ability to make that formula, if you will, so it can give you the results that you're looking for. But that's further down. I would say that customization of the ability to create your own report is probably in the second half of 22.
It's good to know it's coming though.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to give everyone one more minute to enter any questions. I don't want to leave anyone hanging. I know we started a little late, so if anyone else has questions, I wish there was music we could play while we were waiting.
A little Jeopardy music.
I was just thinking that. Oh, we got one. Another reporting question from Kristen. You guys see that one?
Yeah. Lead details reports do not track revenue value of leads. Is that, again, all falls under the bucket of TARP? The thing with the lead. So to answer that question more specifically, you're right. A lead does not track value because it has no value as a lead. But what you want to do is tie the lead to the booking, and therefore the lead will then have value. And that's something we can do, again, with TARP. Random question, can you add a spell check function in all areas of the platform? You have spell check. You do, it's already there. Google provides the spell check, and it works within our app. And let's see. Okay. I love a web chat widget possibly easier to implement than so we do have that through a partnership, the web chat widget, and it's actually tied to SMS, and it's I forget the name of the company that does it, but we do have it. We'll look into it and we'll get an answer back to you. What the name of the company that does that? Fonts, more fonts. Well, you can have as many fonts as you want. We integrate to Google Fonts. There's over 1 million of them. So you got to tell us which font you want, and then we can add that font to your documents. But don't go crazy with fonts. That's my, some fonts don't look good online. So, be careful. I just have to say that out loud.
I knew you were going to say that.
I wish your search was a smart search. Is that in the future? I need a little bit more detail on what smart means. But our search works very similar to all searches. It uses an algorithm behind it. But if you want to give us a contact your account manager and give us a little bit more details on what you mean by smart, and then we can kind of work it from there. Are there plans to allow companies to export any menus or pick lists once put into the system? I think I know what you're asking. You want to export your menus, and I guess the question is why, right? Is it an integration thing? Like, should we? I just need more details. They're coming in fast and furious now.
I know. Look at this. All right, we'll send you that information. So I'll get that one out of there. And then this Robin one is new.
Okay. Trying to figure out. Okay.
That's the
how we change maybe to basics. I'm probably missing it. Like, all right. So change your font. Yeah, we can do that. We can put you back to whatever font you want. It's in your document. It's a pretty quick setting. Contact support. They could show you how to do it. When you type in a partial name, it doesn't bring up who you are looking for. I gotcha. It has to be spelled exactly right. So that's what you mean by smart. Yeah, we could take a look into that. I know what you're talking about now. So if you type in Jonathan, you want Jon, it should bring in Jon, and then yeah, we can look into how that works. You got that, Charles?
Yep, I got that one. I think we actually are looking into something around that. So
yeah, you should also be able to put a star in front of it, and it kind of uses that star. It says like all types of spelling.
Yep.
More fonts.
I never knew our customers.
Again, we can use Google Fonts. There's 1 million. I'm not exaggerating. 1 million fonts inside of Google. We have an integration to Google Fonts. You got to tell us which font you want. You can contact support, and we can go from there. So,
also, let me just add, if you're trying to find Calibri, because I know it's not in Google Fonts, you can go to similarfont.com, I think it is, or similarfont.io, and then you can search Calibri, and it will tell you the fonts that are available in Google that are very close to Calibri. So
look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
Great answer. All right. Yep.
All right.
Right.
That was funny. Yeah, exactly.
You got it.
Correct.
Look at you, April. Thanks, April.
All
right. Wow. That was coming
one more time. I just have to say it one more time. Be very, very careful with fonts. Some fonts look terrible online.
Yeah, they do.
And you want to keep it simple for your customer. Don't make them strain their eyes. Don't use too many fonts. It looks confusing. It looks terrible. Be really specific in how you use your fonts, and you got to do it everywhere. You can't have a different font for a BEO and a different font for a proposal.
True.
Be consistent.
And look at all those different sizes too. Like when you open a BEO, like look at it from any possible size that your clients might look at it, because you might get like my 80-year-old mother who's like, I can't read this, and she doesn't know how to read it.
Absolutely. Can you tell that we have font discussions all the time?
Yeah.
Right. Consult your web person. He'll tell you.
It's mistakes that we've made, you know, you learn from them. So
we're going off the deep end right now, Kennedy.
Yeah, we really are. I love fonts. All right. All right. So I think that wraps up our 2021 year in review. It's probably a smart idea to end it there. And as you've all heard, we have some great products and features coming your way in 2022. So keep your eyes and your ears onto our social media pages and our blog for updates. And, you know, always check in. We have webinars. We have all kinds of great stuff on our website. So always check back and follow us on social media. And you can also catch up on our feature releases with our quarterly fireside chats that happen every 3 to 4 months on Facebook Live. And those will also be posted on social media, so you'll know when those are. I think our next one is in early April of 2022. So you can definitely find out more about that later. Thank you again to my guests today, Charles and Jono.
Kenny, one thing to add. We're going to be adding in the help section of Tripleseat, you'll see a what's new page. It's not there yet, but it will be very soon, and that'll have everything that's come out up to that day. So you can also find it there.
That's awesome. That's exciting.
Yeah, and we're about to do it.
I like that.
And now we're about to do a webinar. I think we should do a webinar on reporting and fonts.
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to add that one.
Yeah.
Yep. It could be a 10-minute tip and tricks. Do we still do those? Fonts. Yeah. Just on fonts.
You know, that last one about where to find fonts that match is a great tip. Great tip.
I mean, I've had the problem before myself. So yeah, I know the pain. So thank you everyone for attending today. And we hope you have a wonderful holiday season and an even better 2022. We'll see you all soon. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.